All right, guys, welcome back to Behind Closed Doors. Today is, in fact, September 23rd. If you've lost track of time, have no fear. I have you covered because today is, in fact, September 23rd. This is Behind Closed Doors with Anand Murthy and me, your boy, Pete. Let's get things an absolute crack in here with our Costa Bravas to get us fueled up for the next 10 minutes of the greatest show to touch the internet. Let's hop in right away. Some very hot topics that I want to skim through real quick. First one being Tesla's disappointing battery day yesterday. What kind of highlights do we have from that? Give us a quick rundown there.
I think everyone is expecting Elon Musk to announce something revolutionary, and nothing really happened.
Nope.
And he was hyping it up. Oh, battery day. All the TikTokers are buying it. They're like, oh, I'm holding the stock till battery day. Nothing really got announced. I think they announced a $25,000 Tesla is coming in 3 years.
Yep.
And that's it. In typical Elon Musk fashion, great marketer, under-delivers, stock got creamed. See what happens next.
But it's about to shoot back right through the roof the second that.
Yeah, he'll just tweet something else. Like Tesla should be worth double. And then
it went down 10% today.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Wow.
But it's already so massively overvalued. It's insane.
Right. So disappointing day, but there's a lot of interesting things he did say. So, of course, there's always a lot coming from Tesla and their future. The other big thing that you're going to actually dive in more on is on its first appearance on our newsletter. If you're not a part of our newsletter, melrosestreetjournal.com to sign up. Anand's going to go a big deep dive into this NASCAR and Michael Jordan collab that's taking place. Give us some highlights there as well. What was kind of your kind of big outlook on this entire collaboration?
So NASCAR is obviously not known for diversity, not known for inclusion. Nope. They famously had many controversy with racism. And Michael Jordan, obviously who's black, is teaming up with Denny Hamlin, one of the best NASCAR drivers around. And they are starting a team. It's unclear how much money they have to put up. Michael Jordan's the majority owner. And their driver is going to be Bubba Wallace, who's the only black NASCAR driver. Yep. So it's monumental for so many reasons. Michael Jordan, who's arguably the most famous athlete of all time, is entering into NASCAR. He's going to bring a whole new audience. Brand Jordan's going to be affiliated with it. They're going to have endless number of sponsors that are going to want to sponsor this team. There's so many corporate mandates that you have to basically promote diversity and promote black activism, essentially. Yep. And no better way to do it than affiliate yourself with Michael Jordan himself. This is an absolute home run. I think NASCAR wins, despite being a racist sport for the most part.
Yep.
And they're gonna draw new viewers. I'm gonna watch Michael Jordan's team. Why wouldn't you?
Absolutely. I'm absolutely gonna turn it on now.
I'd buy a shirt.
Yeah, and I mean, even the covers that the mainstream media is going to give it as far as what their outfits are, their shoes. He already wears custom Jordan shoes. The entire thing kind of gets that mainstream push, and I think this also kicks back on the same idea of like there is something to those who do donate and to those who talk about it, but I think there's even something more to give to people like this who go out and do and make change. And I know he made a huge donation, but doing something like this. Long term, this is a huge cultural change, and not only a sport, but a culture as a whole.
Who's the first rapper to drop a Michael Jordan NASCAR line?
I don't know.
Drake?
I'm sure Drake will.
Yeah, and Drake's
is he the first?
Athlete.
I don't know.
Drake's a Jordan athlete or Jordan sponsored dude, right?
It's true. So it's possible. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Okay, let's keep things moving. So there's a lot to also keep an eye there with that developing story. It'll be really interesting to see NASCAR really take shape. We have a plug in NASCAR. They're trying to get us to a race. We'll go to a race. Maybe hook us up with the Jordan suit. I want
to go to the Jordan race.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's jump into real quick week 2 of fantasy football. What a atrocious week for injuries. Just about everybody and their mother had an injury last week, including major torn ACLs. Then we have people like Christian McCaffrey who's out for weeks at a time. Give me some updates from your team. How did you fare out this week?
So I'm in 2 different leagues, and I am 2-0 in both of them.
Wow!
I beat the living shit out of Dee in one league. And in my other league, which I've been in almost over a decade, I have Russell Wilson, who has put up 9 touchdowns in the last 2 weeks, and has been absolute fire. Having Russell Wilson the last 2 weeks made both matches just there's no competition.
Week 2, and he's already getting talked about as a MVP candidate. It's true, though, the numbers prove it. So it's very interesting. Did you see quickly the Tyrod Taylor thing this morning?
That was insane. Like the doctor punctured his lung, and there's controversy. A lot of people think that this is a cover-up because they wanted Herbert to start the entire time, but who knows? It sounds serious. The lawyer for the NFLPA has already tweeted that they're going to investigate. Sounds like if this story is actually true, he's getting a big check.
I mean, yeah. At the same time, too, I was listening to what's the old Kickers podcast? He's kicked for the Colts.
Vinatieri?
No. Before that, oh, he worked at Barstool. Why am I blanking on his name right now? But he has an NFL show he does with some other guys. I think they do it like every day, whatever. He was just talking about the doctors usually aren't the ones that are really putting the needles in. It's usually like a registered nurse or whatever. So it's like when they come to these NFL teams and they haven't been the one pricking people and having to inject them with shots or anything like that, they haven't done it in so long that he said he wasn't surprised to hear a story like this come out, that it ended up puncturing a lung from doing something
crazy.
like that.
I didn't know that was commonplace.
Yeah. So, I mean, he brought up that point. I don't know if Pat McAfee, there we go in the chat here. Pat had it on. He was giving that whole side of it. He saw a doctor come in and he was trying to give somebody some type of shot, and he missed like 3 or 4 times. I don't know if it's exactly here in the ribs area, but like 3 or 4 times in the leg. And they're like, "What are you doing?" And he said something to a personnel later, and they were like, "Well, think about it. When is the last time you think that doctor actually gave a shot or did anything like that? They usually don't practice that." So
on top of that, it's the same reason why everyone's getting injured. There was no preseason.
Right.
Literally played pretty much just practice, and then they were told to go 100 miles an hour in full game speed.
Yeah.
Right. And star players on both sides of the ball were injured, and you got to imagine it's going to take 4 to 5 weeks till everything normalizes, because we're going to see major injuries week 3, week 4, week 5, maybe week 6, which is technically what a post preseason would have looked like, where you might see, okay, these are the guys that should be able to last through week 6, week 15.
Yeah, go deep on those depth charts and start looking now because those guys are really going to start to come into play. One thing from the chat here from Dre is hype. One reporter said that in the player's CBA contract, if a player gets medical help from a team doctor, they cannot sue. So that'll be interesting to see how that plays out. It's also being said that the turf is up in, was it San Francisco? Where was the turf that?
For which one?
I think it might be the San Francisco turf.
That's the Jets and Giants stadium, which they said the turf wasn't properly put down.
So, I mean, turf always plays an interesting role in a lot of injuries, whether it's turf toe or ACL tears or something like that. There always seems to be some controversy along those lines. I myself won this week. I went 2-0 in both leagues, but I'm 1-1 in both leagues with a sweeping win. But Christian McCaffrey, my number 1 running back, decides to be out now for 4 weeks.
Screwed.
I'm not completely screwed. Josh Connor's coming back around for Pittsburgh, so not all hope is lost.
James Conner,
sorry. But not all hope is lost. He had a good week, so fingers are crossed that we stay healthy for another week. That's really going to be the storyline of this year's fantasy is health. Great. Let's keep moving on. The next topic is Amazon's little fake out they had this morning. They were said to be releasing this Prime bike. And now they came out this morning saying they had nothing to do with it. They're not associated with it. Took the listing down. What is your quick hot take on this? How do you mix up a partnership or a collaboration with Amazon and then be a liar? Was this all for press?
I think Amazon had nothing to do with it, and that's the problem. I think Echelon, who is the actual maker of the bike,
right,
somehow leaked it to the press that they're partnering with Amazon, got all this press, and then Amazon's like, what the fuck is going on? The funny thing is it actually affected Peloton stock. So this fucking company cost people billions of dollars in market cap.
Yeah.
I imagine like a lawsuit can come from a Peloton shareholder.
That was going to be my question is with that big of an effect on the shareholder price, what how would you not sue? I mean, it went down so much. Though it rebounded, I don't even know what it's at right now. But I mean, that has to result in a lawsuit.
I'd imagine so. I'm sure Amazon's going to sue them too because it made them look stupid.
Right. I mean, what a fuck up for them. I can't imagine how many people are getting fired this morning because of that. Because it might have gotten you some good press, but killed you long term.
Yeah, you're over.
Let's see real quick. Yep. And then we had the drop. It's still looks like it's down about $5 or $6.
It actually spiked this morning on the news that Amazon story was fake, but went down. The market just got crushed, so everything went back down.
Yeah. It peaked at about 99 today, and it dropped back down to 95. And it looks like yesterday, right away in the morning, it dropped all the way down to 90. So technically, it is above where it dropped. But a lot of fluctuation, and there was an issue there. So we'll be looking out for that as well. Let's also jump into talking stocks. Anand, you would put a little play on Shopify. How's that working out for you?
I lost all of it.
You poor bastard.
So I had an option for last Friday. It was expiring last Friday.
Yeah.
And it was a 2-day play, like I explained. It was a coin flip. Either going to go up, and I'm going to make it like a 3 or 4x, or it's going to go down and went to 0, and went down, went to 0.
Speaking of this week, are you back in the game, or are you staying out of it this week?
The sidelines this week.
Over here.
I'm just going to follow you and Tim Apple.
Yeah, Tim has $1,000 to put down. He also just put in our chat. We're going to be including him in the newsletter about his stock picks. And somebody that I say, Tim, can you send your stock portfolio? And he said, my what? I mean, this guy has absolutely no knowledge whatsoever of the stock market, but yet is giving out advice in the DMs and purchasing Apple stock. So that means you two kids at home can make money in the stock market without knowing a goddamn thing.
It's been a rough few weeks for the Robinhooders. All the hot companies have gone down.
Yes. And I mean, they're probably like, I don't get this. I thought stocks always went up. I know this doesn't make sense.
And Davey Day Trader has even kind of switched to just gambling. He's still doing the day trading, but it's not as big of a focus as it used to be.
No, and I mean, that was natural. I mean, he did say he would keep doing it, but he has interest for his company he has to focus on. But I think even if it weren't there, I think he would still be going twice as hard. But I don't know. There's nothing fun about losing a shit ton of money, though.
No.
As entertaining as you can be, just losing money like that is just not as great as one might think. We can get an update from Retail Joe. Dre Hype back in the combo here live on YouTube and Twitch. Dre is hyped to get a Retail Joe update next episode of Group Chat. So we'll make sure we'll throw that in there. Lastly, on the stock market, DocuSign. DocuSign's on a tear, man. I'm telling you, they've created quite the comeback for me.
So are you up money? Are you plus money now?
No, still not plus money, but it's gone up quite a bit in the last couple of days. I think I was down over 25%. Now down only about 17.
Okay.
So a little bit of steam, but buying it at 250 was an incredibly stupid idea, and I don't see it getting back to that price for a while.
Yeah, it's all good. You live and you learn. The whole point of actually getting some skin in the game is you actually learn.
Yeah. And again, doing it like everybody says, just throwing money that really doesn't matter to me. I'm still up I put $500 in. I'm up $45 right now. So technically, I've made a couple good trades here and there with Walmart. Walmart was easy.
Penn Gaming.
I did Penn Gaming. I jumped in at 36 or around 40 and jumped out at 50. I don't know. I was just curious to see what it did. And now it's fucking skyrocketed to 76. So I should have really stuck with that one. I could have been a way richer man now. But yeah, it's interesting to see.
Put some money in Datadog.
Datadog?
Don't even ask questions. Just put some money in Datadog.
Let's do it live right here. Okay, Datadog, $90. Great. That a little bit of a low right now. What's their 52-week high? Okay, great.
Look at you knowing what 52-week highs are. Fucking Pete from Wisconsin getting smart.
Okay, I'm going to just go in with all the buying power I have right now.
Wow, big
Great.
bet.
Order received. We got 1.5 shares, baby.
Wow, you're hot.
Okay, great. We got 1.5 of Datadog. I guess you have to come back next week and see how it's performing, and that's how we keep you hooked here.
If you lose money, I'll buy you an expensive dinner.
Okay, that's fair enough for me. At least you're putting some insurance on it. Do we have anything else we'd like to add? Somebody had sent them in the chat that I wanted to pull up.
If everyone should go tune into yesterday's group chat. We had Christian Lagrasso on, OG Viner. The stories were incredible. The jokes were funny. Very impressive kid.
Yeah, so that's actually what it ties together. Somebody said, what's going on with TikTok? So Christian is actually an original. He was one of the original people, influencers per se, on Vine. As well as some of the first ones on YouTube. He's an actor and is now huge. He's got millions of followers all over all of his social medias, but he is older. Did we get his age?
27.
27. So he's a little bit older, a little bit wiser than a lot of these really young kids. It was cool to hear from him, his take on what TikTok is right now, how these kids can, if TikTok goes down, what do you do, being that Vine went down at one point. So like Anand said, go ahead and give it a listen. Very valuable, very cool to hear from somebody like that. It's more mature. Maybe we could have brought in a regular TikToker and they probably just would have danced their way to answering our questions. But instead, this guy just was a normal human being that lives in Calabasas and gave us a straightforward answer.
And next Monday or Tuesday's episode, the CEO of Allergan, which is a $100 billion pharmaceutical company.
Wow.
Big money. Big money.
Big. You think he'll give us a couple dollars?
Maybe. Give us some stock tips. Give us the free vaccine.
Ooh, maybe he'll slip us like a little, hey, go to this street on this corner.
Exactly.
Ask for the C special.
I love it. Let's see how much Allergan is worth before we move on. Allergan. Oh, they went private, but yeah, they're huge. But yeah, it's gonna be fun. Tune in. We'll learn everything we need to know about COVID with a pharmaceutical legend.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know another podcast right now that's getting this interview.
No.
I mean, we're the cream of the crop, baby. Somebody's also said D-Dog to the moon.
There we go.
To the moon, baby.
Datadog. Write it.
Write it. Okay, that's going to conclude for us here on Behind Closed Doors for today. As always, you can follow me right here in my tag over in the corner. Your boy Pete, that's Anand. Right over here at Anand Murthy. You can find us on Twitter, Instagram. We're also at Group Chat Pod on Twitter. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube as well. You can always find us wherever you listen to podcasts for all this and so much more. Listen to Group Chat 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That's going to do it for us. We're going to answer some more questions live in our stream because we go live every Wednesday. And if you're not following us on socials, you'll never know when we're live, or you should subscribe to our channel. Okay, that's going to do it for us on Behind Closed Doors. Thank you very much.
Peace.